Hi everyone, it's Lauren and welcome to part 3 of Booktubers that I love watching and I want to recommend to you because I think you should watch them as well. I've done 2 other episodes of this series, I suppose, here and here. So if you have not seen those and are not subscribed to those people, then what are you doing? Go and watch those videos and subscribe to all of them because they are all fantastic. I have 6 more lovely ladies that I want to recommend to you today, and the first one of those is Adriana from Perpetual Pages. Now, I've been watching Adriana's channel for a really long time, like since before I started a channel myself. She's one of those people and one of those channels that I watch a lot, but then I don't really talk about very much, and I think it's because we don't really read the same kind of books, but I absolutely love watching her anyway. She reads a lot of YA, she reads a lot of manga, but she also reads some adult fiction, some literary fiction as well. She reads really widely, and she has this knack when she's reviewing a book, and it doesn't matter what genre it is, that she always makes me want to read it. Like, she could make me pick up anything because the way she describes books that she enjoys, I just find so engaging and so persuasive. She's also really passionate about representation and diversity in books, and particularly in the YA books that she's reading, and she's also really good at recommending queer literature, and good representation and is a real advocate of that, and her discussions of those kind of topics are really interesting, so I would definitely recommend you check her out. The second person that I want to recommend is Jordan from Where There's a Quill. Now, Jordan has been on hiatus from Booktube for a really long time because she is studying a master's in medieval history at York University, and I think the master's has just taken over and she's been having a really nice time, but she's back. She uploaded a video last weekend saying that she's back into it, and I'm really excited to see what other videos she's going to come up with. She reads a whole wide range of stuff, and she does a lot of videos on books, but more specifically she does videos on medieval history and medieval literature and Anglo-Saxon poetry and just things that she's learning about, and I find them really interesting and really different, and she's just such a delight to listen to. I find her voice really relaxing, and what I love about her is that she's so passionate about what she's studying, and that kind of passion is really infectious. And when she talks about medieval history, I'm just thinking like, yeah, I should learn about that. This is fantastic, and she really draws you in. My next recommendation is Marin from My Name is Marin, who is an actual queen. She's someone else who reads a lot of YA but also reads really widely. She also does a lot of discussion videos about reading, about reviewing, and she's a really active member in the Booktube community, which I really admire, and she isn't afraid at all to voice her opinion. And when she does discussion videos about certain topics or reaction videos to what somebody else has said perhaps, she's also always so eloquent, and I think she argues really amazingly. And something else that I have just found out about her, and my mind is actually blown, is that she is from the snarksquad.com website, which I used to read like years ago, and they did a whole series looking through every single chapter of the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, which I read absolutely religiously, and I found them so hilarious. And I've never read 50 Shades of Grey or 50 Shades Darker or any of that series, and yet I have opinions on it, and all my opinions come from Snark Squad, so all my opinions are basically Marinez's opinions, and I just love it because I feel like they've read those books so that I don't have to, and they bring me so much joy. So even though it's quite an old thread, I would still recommend going to that website and reading those posts if you haven't seen them already, because they are so hilarious. Next up is Amy from Shout Amy, another channel that I've been watching for a really long time. Amy reads a range of books probably similar to the kind of range that I read. So she reads a lot of non-fiction and some classics and some fantasy and some literary fiction, sort of a bit of everything. And she did read a lot of YA. She still reads YA, and I think she's maybe on a bit of a journey moving more towards adult fiction and a bit away from YA. But her videos are always really fun to watch. I really like listening to her, and she's just so lovely. She's just such a lovely, fun person. If you really like watching the book review stuff and want to watch someone who really takes time over reviewing their books, then someone who I'd really recommend to you is Vanessa from Chbosky. She is just such a darling and a real sweetheart, and her videos are really interesting as well. She really takes time with her reviews and when she's doing her monthly wrap-ups to really get into each of the books. And someone else who, weirdly and hopefully not in a creepy way, is just really nice to listen to. She's got a really soothing voice, I think. And she reads a lot of adult literary fiction, and she reads a lot of classics as well. And finally, the last person I want to recommend in this video is Sophie Carlin. Sophie has a really interesting tone to her videos. They're sort of really funny and irreverent. She reads a lot of literary fiction as well, and she's a writer herself. And something that I really love about her channel is that interspersed between the bookish videos are some sort of short and interesting videos just about her life, maybe singing a song, maybe saying some funny things, maybe talking about something that's gone wrong in her life, or introducing us to her pet snake. And I really like what she's doing with her channel and where she's taking her channel, because she's not putting herself in a box, and also her videos are really beautiful to look at as well, like they're edited really nicely. So please do check out all of these wonderful channels. I'll link all of them in the description bar below. I hope I introduced you to at least someone that you hadn't heard of before. As always, I would love to hear of any other channels that you really love watching, so maybe you could introduce me to someone new as well, and I will see you next time. Bye! Nearly all the stories focus on two main themes, gender and race, and most of them focus on how those two things intertwine.